I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Stand by, folks. We're trying to find some things out. We were a little late this evening, about 10 minutes late, but I will offer up that it was not my fault this time. So I will explain that in just 1 second. Let me finish up this calculation here really quickly, and we will be right with you. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the show. It is Monday, December 29th, 2025. It is 9:11 p.m. Eastern. 11 minutes after 9 Eastern. We've got 2 days until the end of the year, the beginning of the new year. So whichever way you want to look at it, stand by 1 second and I will be right with you. Hey, use this time if you can, if you will, to go through and smash that like button. If you would be so kind, that would be fantastic. You can use this time to do that. And I will be right back with you. Many from June 16 to December 2025. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Okay. So, all right, here we got to figure it out. So, smash that like button, do that thing, and let's get ready to. Oops, I was hitting the wrong button. I don't know what I'm doing. Smash that button, and let's get ready to rock and roll. Hey, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, in today's offering of 3,485 days of my grandparents trying to kill me. I will offer up the fact that last night I said everything had been going well. Grandma got rid of the COVID. I thought we were on the mend, and then bam, she gets some kind of nasty stomach bug, which I thought was going to kill us all. I think that ended up being the norovirus because she was better today and doing better. And I took them breakfast today. It was really cold this morning. So I figured instead of them getting out, I would brave the weather, brave the wind, the cold, the crazy freezing fog, whatever the hell freezing fog is. And I would take them breakfast so she didn't have to cook and he didn't have to get out. And so I took that over there and spent a little bit of time with him this morning. And I was like, okay, well, I'm leaving. And Grandma's like, it's because you don't want to spend time with us because we've been driving you crazy. And I was like, yes, 100%. We got to get through. Let's get through 3 days of no chaos. and then I'll just come back over to visit, because it's not like I've been visiting with them here lately. I've been going over and triaging the craziness and the chaos. And then I'm sitting here minding my own business, and I get a panicked call from a family member telling me that my grandfather fell. And I'm like, fell where? Fell from what? From what to what? Because keep in mind, hold on. Keep in mind, I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell on him real quick here. Let me see if I got this still here. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I got this, because I'm going to tell on him. If I still have this, I'm telling on him for the world to see. Yeah, I know I still have this somewhere. I know this is here. Give me 1 second. Oh, I know where it's at. Okay, right here. Here we go. Yep, I got it. He's in trouble. He's in trouble now. So when I get the message that he's fallen, instantly I'm like, oh my God, he's fallen from what? From where to what? What do you mean? That doesn't sound good. That's not a good thing. Because, good Lord, keep in mind, it wasn't too long ago. It's not been very long. It's been just in the last 2 months that I pulled down into his driveway. Okay. I pulled into the driveway, going down there to pick them up to go eat lunch, mind you. Okay. And this is how I find him. Keep in mind, the man is 87 years old. And I pull down in the driveway to find this. This man on a ladder cleaning out the gutters on his porch. So I'm like, well, I get out of the car and I'm like, get down from there. What are you doing? And he's like, well, we were just getting ready to go eat lunch, and I thought for a second that the gutter out there might be clogged, so I figured I'd go out there and take a look at it. So, getting the message that he has fallen, I'm like, it's 7:00 at night. He can't be up on a ladder. It's dark outside. So I got the word. What he did was he fell. He was going outside. They didn't do they normally do a crazy amount of Christmas decorations, but this year they weren't feeling very well. So they just put up those things that started popping up about 10 years ago that you stick in the yard and you press the button and it shines the crazy lights on the house. They put about 4 or 5 of those out in the yard. 3 or 4 or whatever. And so he goes, and normally they're on timers and they set, but for some reason this year that didn't happen. So he has to go manually turn them on each night, and then they turn off with a timer. I got it backwards or something. And so he was going out there this evening to turn them on, and he got caught up in an extension cord and fell onto the sidewalk. Not a very bad fall, but bad enough that he kind of skinned up his arm and kind of fell on his left side, which is where his shoulder has had the operations, which is not something that we like. So we were all in panic mode for a minute, but everything's okay. Prayers for him. He's going to have a sore couple of next couple of weeks, probably next month. But I'm telling you, I swear they're trying to kill me. Yes, absolutely. Mountain climbing grandpa. That is no shit. This is my dad's parents. My grandma, grandpa Bilbrey on my dad's side. My mother's mom, who unfortunately passed away from cancer in November of 2016, when she was 6 months before she was diagnosed with cancer, she was up on her roof patching a hole. And she was like 76 at the time. So these people, these people just come from a whole different line of people. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It's pretty crazy. Yes. Reminds me of the guy in the National Lampoon's Vacation. Yes. Neither one of them, my grandparents, my grandma and my grandpa, are not on tonight. They normally would be watching. I'm going to go watch this with them tomorrow morning, but because of the fall and the excitement of the fall, they said they were going to go to bed early tonight. So I said, that's fine, but I'm going to go watch this with them tomorrow morning, which would be Tuesday morning after the Board of Works meeting. So we've been dealing with that. It's been one of those days. And so I'm telling you, it's about ready. I need a vacation from the vacation. But it is what it is. So yeah, Brian, I see that. The day whooped him. Yeah, I tell you what, it tried. He was still up giving it hell. You know what I mean? It tried to whoop him, but I think he still had the better of it. So I tell you what, it's always exciting. But yeah, if you guys can, if you're so inclined to offer prayers to them, my grandmother, so she doesn't get excited and kill him, and him, so he doesn't continue to fall. See, my grandma's told him, you need to stop shuffling your feet. You're shuffling your feet. You're shuffling your feet. And I keep telling her, let him, if he wants to shuffle his feet, let him shuffle his feet. So then tonight we both got yelled at because she's like, see, this is what happens when he shuffles his feet. He needs to pick his feet up. So then I had to take her side. For a moment and say, see, this is what happens when you shuffle your feet. And I'll tell you, while all of that is crazy, at least none of this happened. So now this is insane. Ah, God. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is the 29th, which means tomorrow's the 30th, Wednesday's the 31st, and Thursday is a whole brand new year. Isn't that crazy? I hate this time. So you guys know how bad I hate daylight savings time, because I have to go through and switch all the clocks and make sure that they are all perfectly on time with each other. Well, first off, last night was a bitch because after we got off air, the power went out here. Because of the wind, we had so much crazy wind. I was typing up a post and it blinked, cut everything off, and it messed up my writing. I was so mad. And then I sat here and I was like, man, am I going to go to bed? Am I going to go to bed, or am I going to try to breathe, boot everything back up, and try to recreate my post? And I was like, I'm going to try it one more time. And I got everything booted up, got everything powered up, went through everything, made sure we had, check on everything. I started typing up my post again, and like 20 minutes in, power went out again, and I'm telling you what, I could have shot through the computer screen. No, we didn't get any blizzard. We got 60 to 70 mile an hour freezing wind. We got fog and then freezing fog, whatever the hell that is. And we went from like 62 degrees yesterday to minus 10 degrees this morning or something like that. So it was like a major crazy turn of events in the weather. Okay. So we've got 2 days left. There's not a whole lot going on, but as I tell you, even when we're in this no man's land between Christmas and the beginning of the year, like we always do, it's never, ever, ever shut down. There's always a little bit of craziness going on behind the scenes. And so we have a little bit to talk to you guys about tonight, reference the upcoming Muncie City Council meeting. Surprise, surprise. The council, at least some on the council, aren't seeing things the way that they should, in my opinion. So we'll talk about that. And then we're also going to spend a little bit more time talking about the shooting from this past weekend. You know, I thought I was really just going to kind of cover it last night. Wham, bam, thank you, man. Talk about it and move on. But the more that I've been looking into this and the more that I've been dealing with this, city of Muncie, the more that I've been dealing with this and listening to things going on and talking to sources, the more that I think that this is definitely an interesting turn of events that happened. And I think it's going to be an interesting case to watch. And it's very interesting seeing what people are saying online. It's very interesting hearing people's different input on the events that occurred. And so we're going to spend some more time talking about that. I called tonight's episode The Blind and the Ignorant because, well, number one, I refer to me, one of the craziest things that happened in this shooting. It's all crazy, right? It's crazy to me that somebody says, I'm going to go kick somebody's door in. That's crazy. It's crazy to me that somebody that's not the police decides they're going to kick someone's door in and yell police. That's crazy. And then it's crazy the reactions that people in the community give because of those involved. So it's very, very strange to me. Very, very strange. So as I stated last night, I think that the reactions have been very strange. They've been all over the place, really, from people talking about how pitiful it is that the man that was shot, you know, how sad it is that he was shot. And listen, okay, I'm going to be, what is that? Like a little bug. Okay, so on a very pulled back scale, yeah, it's never good. Anytime anybody loses their life, that's not good. I mean, you know, the thing I've always said is, you know, even bad people have people that, you know, a lot of times, sometimes, not always, but will have people that care about them. You know, you could be a serial killer, but your mom still loves you. Maybe, unless she's the one that made you a serial killer. Then maybe she hates you and you wanted to cut her head off and put it in the garden. I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like the thugs and the bad guys that are out there rolling around, you know, they've got people that care about them, friends that like them and whatever. So yeah, it's bad anytime there's a loss of life. And it shouldn't be that way. And you can mourn the loss of life without trying to make the person a martyr. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the thing. But why did they have to shoot him 9 times? Let me tell you, because the gun malfunctioned and it wouldn't allow them to shoot him 17 times. You kick my front door in and see, let me tell you, I don't limp wrist, so my gun's not going to malfunction. You kick my door in and I'm going to shoot a hole through you that I could climb through. Criminals have families too, damn it. Well, that's what I said. You know, and I got a lot of hate for this. So there are cases out here where bad guys victimize everyday citizens, you, me, and Dupree, you know, people who don't ask for it, people who are just living, and that sucks. But there's also a lot of cases where criminals victimize other criminals. Now, before I get in trouble saying this, I'm not saying I don't know any of these people involved. I don't know Marcus. I don't know Danny. I don't know the fleeing man. I don't know any of these people. I don't care about them. They mean nothing to me. I wish them all well. I live a life. Don't bother me. And you guys have at it. If you're broke down on the side of the road, I would help you if I could. If there's something I could do, you know what I mean? Like, I don't wish anybody any ill will. But here's the other thing. People are saying, oh, it was a setup. He was set up. What? What kind of setup? What kind of a situation is there when someone is set up and the result of that is they need to come kick your door in? I can't think of what that would be. I guess like the only thing that I could think is like, you've kidnapped my daughter and I know where you're at, and you have like my daughter or my son or my mother or my grandparent, a family member in your house. Okay, maybe I'm going to come kick your door in looking, I guess, but other than that, like they're saying like, oh, he was set up. He was made to do this. What? Why did he yell police as he ran through the door? That's crazy. The other thing I noticed, and I'm pretty damn sure, we're going to look at it again, but I'm pretty damn sure that cowboy number 2, the fleeing man, he charges his gun as he's walking onto the porch. Dude, you can't be doing that. What kind of bad guy are you that you don't run around with one in the pipe? Are you for real? You literally charge your gun as you're heading up onto the porch. The funny thing is, here's the funny thing. I drove by this location today, and there are signs all over this property that says like trespassers will be shot on sight. I'm thinking, well, like they lived up to the sign. What is this? Did you send me this? Let me see what you sent me. Kate sent me something, pointing something weird to me. Let me see what she sent me. Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll get to that. Everyone has a Ring camera. Come on. Yeah, right. So, Catherine's checked into the chat. So really quickly, I need to stop and completely inform her of what we're talking about so she can follow along. I figured out that Catherine never checks out, never follows along with more than about 5 or 10 minutes of the show. And that's probably way too much. Unless she's talking, she has no clue what this show's about. And then sometimes even when she's talking, I'm not 100% sure she knows. Yeah, Brandon. That's what Brandon Wilson. That's exactly what I said. So really early on, in the show last night, I showed the clip. Let me see if I still have this camera on here. I didn't think I got rid of it. Hold on, let me see. Give me a second. We're going to put it up here. Okay, here's this. Oh, I see. Okay, so as soon as the surveillance video started going around, I watched it and almost instantly, damn it, that's not it. Instantly, I noticed this. The shooting of the fleeing man. So really quickly, so everybody's aware, so we identify who these people are. We have a couple of different people, okay? We have two people that walk onto the porch. We have two people that walk onto the porch who don't belong there. They don't have contractual interest in the property. They both have guns in their hands. There's a guy in front and there's a guy in back. The guy in the front we'll call Marcus because that's his name. The guy in the back we call Fleeing Man because after the shooting gets crazy, he turns and flees. And then we have the man inside the home that we will refer to as Danny because that's his name. Okay, so Marcus and Danny, I don't know if they know each other. I don't know what their connection is. Okay. No clue. I'm sure there are people out there, whatever. Okay. But they're living their lives. And for whatever reason, Marcus wants to kick the door in at this property on East 29th Street. And he decides to do so with a gun in his hand. And that's a very bad mistake. Now, what's interesting to me, and I've been talking to several different police officers and other people in law enforcement today. I am somebody that shoots frequently. Okay. I know guns. I'm familiar with guns. And I have guns stashed all throughout the house. If I'm on the couch, I'm by several different guns. If I'm in bed, I'm by several different guns. If I'm in the bathroom, I've got at least a gun in there. If I'm in my car, I've got several different, I've always got guns stashed around. So if somebody kicks my door in and somebody comes in after me, I feel confident that I can handle the situation. That being said, from the time the doorway opens on the third kick and Marcus is through the door to the point that the bullets start are like quick. Okay. It's almost as if Danny was sitting there with the gun in his hand. So that leads me to believe a couple of different things. Okay. Number one, Danny was ready for this, meaning either he had large amounts of money in his house, he had large amounts of some other kind of items, drugs, or I don't know what the deal was, but he was paranoid, because he was ready, because as soon as this starts happening, he's ready to start blasting. That, or there had been rumors that he was going to be hit there was going to be a hit or something. That's the only thing I can think. Because from the time this starts, boy, he was on it. Okay. Now, I don't know what kind of a shot Danny is. I don't know how frequently he practices. I don't know if he's a good shot. I don't know if he's a sprayer prayer. You know, I don't know. I have no clue. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Okay. Time will tell. The autopsy occurred today. Now I'm waiting on the autopsy report. So I want to inform you guys, after last night's show, I filed a records request with the proper authorities for the probable cause on Danny Songer. I think that's the way you pronounce his name. And I received a probable cause affidavit. But the probable cause affidavit that I received was from an arrest in 2023. It wasn't from this newest arrest. And I reached back out to the prosecutor's office and I said, hey, this was wrong. And the person I was contacting with wasn't in the office. They said they would get it to me. So it'll probably be tomorrow before I get it, unfortunately. Okay. So that sucks. I wish that I had it now. I know a little bit of what's in it, so we will talk about it, but I don't have it to put up on the screen for you guys. I will have that as soon as possible, and I will put it out there. As I stated last night, there is a very real possibility that as Marcus went through the door and Danny picked up the gun and started shooting, maybe Danny hit him all 5 or 6 times. Everybody keeps saying that he shot him 9 times. Let me pause and let's listen to this, and you guys tell me how many gunshots you hear. Let's count the gunshots. Here we go. Okay. I heard 7. Last night I was saying 6, but right there I heard 7. So in my opinion, what I'm hearing is they kick the door in. He says, police. And Danny inside, homeowner, that's what we're calling. I don't know if he's a homeowner or what, but we'll just call him that. The man, the home occupier, I believe shoots 5 or 6 rounds. Pop, 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 pop. And then the fleeing man shoots around. So in my opinion, from what we're hearing here, Danny shoots 5 or 6 rounds. And then the fleeing man shoots 1, which is either the 6th or 7th round. Okay, that's what I believe. That's what I believe is going on there. So we're going to listen one more time. Damn sure that there are 5 shots inside and then a 6th shot as the man's fleeing. So all these people that are saying 8 or 9 shots, I don't know where they're coming from. And everybody keeps saying that the fleeing man shoots twice. And listen, I don't see it. Everybody says you can see a flash out in the yard, but you don't hear anything that goes along with it. I'm not buying that. I don't. Some of that debris that's flying around that happens to go right by like where he was. I don't. We'll time will tell. Time will tell. Can you send it to me? Do you have a way to send it to me? Okay, he's sending it on Messenger. Let me look at this. Waiting. Okay, let's see here. I just got it. All right, hold on here. I don't think that's any clearer. We'll put that up. I mean, I think it's a little bit clearer video. I don't think it's any longer. Let me put that up here and we'll watch. Okay. Matter of fact, it only starts from the kicking, so it's actually a shorter video. But let's take a look at this and see what you guys think. Also, to my knowledge, unless someone can tell me different, I think that the fleeing man is still unknown. Does anybody else out there know differently? Is the fleeing man still unknown? Okay, let's watch this video and we'll see. Okay. Yes, he did shoot. All right, I will take that all back. He does. You 1,000%. 1,000% he shoots again out in the yard. That is 110% correct. William, we'll talk about that in a second. I will bring that up, and we will talk about that because I have a lot to say about that as well, about the arrest of the homeowner. We'll talk about that. Yes, there is no question. All right, so we'll go back through and watch this here. Okay. All right, right here is where the shoot is. The first shot is. Oops, let me back her up. Right here is first shot of fleeing man. Okay, there's the first shot. Okay, so it happens on the video at 20:18:45 or 5 seconds on the video that I'm watching. And then he runs out into the yard. What a weird deal. What a weird ass deal that he would turn around. This guy, I don't know who this dude is, but this guy is a complete idiot. Someone said, "You better not be saying that. He's going to come get you." Okay. All right. And then right here, you can see his second shot. And this happens at 8 seconds on the video and 20:18:48 on the feed. So So is there reason for the community to be on alert if the second suspect is on the loose? Listen, I'm no longer law enforcement, and I can't tell you. I don't know if this guy is, obviously he's armed. Obviously he's armed. The dude is willing to shoot behind him, so he's definitely dangerous. He's a complete fucking idiot. So he's definitely dangerous. So he's armed and dangerous and on the loose. I don't know if the community should be alarmed. I think the community should govern themselves accordingly. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. So he knows the police are looking for him. Absolutely. So I don't know. Thank you for this video. Because you are one. I absolutely stand corrected. He definitely fires that shot off out there in the yard, which is wild. And I don't know what is he shooting out at there. That's crazy. Well, whatever he does out in the yard, I don't even really care about that one. What I'm telling everybody is, and this is what's crazy to me, people just don't know. It's not their fault. This one, dude, he's like a foot away from his homeboy. He's like a foot away from his homeboy. I'm not saying, because first off, I wasn't there. I don't know. I'm telling everybody this is just a thought. And I said, what a wild thought. Two idiots plan some kind of burglary. I hope that's a joke, Catherine. I think maybe you're trolling a little bit. I don't know. So I can't tell here where this dude's shooting, but I can tell you he's like a foot away from his dude. Okay, he's like a foot away from his dude. And I just said, what a wild thought. Two guys plan to commit a burglary and other heinous, evil shit. And they go and they kick open a dude's door, and dude instantly opens fire, causing fleeing dude to take off, but not before he says, I think it would be good for me to extend my hand backwards and fire around while I'm running. There's no way that we can say without a shadow of a doubt that he didn't fire around into the guy's back. Let's say you're sitting on the couch with your girl and somebody comes and boots your door and you pick up your glizzy and you're getting ready to lay down some rounds and you start doing some sideways shooting shit. And you're going pop, 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 pop. And you hit the TV and the fishbowl and the door jamb. And you hit him in his big toe. Okay? And then what a wild thought that his friend, his buddy, his pal, fleeing man, does this, what is that? The Heisman Trophy impression? But then also fires a round off, hitting you in the spine, severing your spine, or bouncing something off your spine up through your aorta and killing you deadly right there. That's exactly right. They were there to clean. They were there. Land shark. Ah, God. So, look, I don't know. The autopsy will tell us this. The autopsy will tell us. What's interesting, though, is if you read to listen to what I'm hearing is in the affidavit there's some really strange things. Songer tells police that he used his girlfriend's gun. Okay. Now, I want to do one thing here. Hold on here. I'm going to play this video again. Give me a second. I want to pull something up, but it's going to take me a second. So I'm going to play this and I'll be right back. Oops. Here, I got to get rid of that. Okay. So, I'm going to read this as I'm going to read it straight with the law. Then I'm going to talk about it from my opinion outside of the law, looking at it from the Constitution. Okay, let's deal with this. Okay. So Songer says that he used his girlfriend's handgun to fatally shoot an intruder at his Southside home. He is a felon. The law says he cannot possess a handgun. He can't be in the vicinity of a handgun. And I will tell you, talking to my good friend Guy Relford and being reminded of a call that came into his show a couple weeks ago, a man called in and said that his daughter was in prison for drug-related offenses and that his daughter was getting out of prison and would be a felon and would be on probation and needed a place to stay, and that the man had a large gun collection, and he wanted to know, as long as his gun collection was locked up in a safe and the daughter would have no access to the handguns, if the daughter could stay at his house. And Guy Relford told him flat out, unequivocally, absolutely no. She cannot stay at your house. She cannot be in a position, in a place where there are guns. Period. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean if your cousin is a felon for OWI and you are carrying a handgun and you go to a family picnic and you're out at the your uncle's backyard and you've got your gun on you and your cousin's there, your cousin's going to be arrested. That's not the case. However, if you're in your home where you live with your significant other and you're a felon and your significant other has a gun, that's a no-no. Okay? No. That's because Stumblefoot, Relford covered both bases. It wasn't just on probation. If that is her residence, if she's marked that as her residence, and inside the residence there is another person that lives there that has possessions of guns, Relford said the girl cannot live there. And now, he didn't say whether he thought that was right or wrong. He's just saying, and that's all I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm just stating the law. Okay, I'm gonna read you straight down as the law goes, and then I'm gonna tell you my thoughts on this. Okay, so that's what he got in trouble for. All right, that's what he got in trouble for. After the shooting, shortly after 8:30 p.m. on Saturday, December 27th, at a home in the 1100 block of East 29th Street, 33-year-old Danny Martin Songer was arrested on suspicion of unlawful carrying of a handgun and obstruction of justice. Now, the obstruction of justice relates to the fact that sometime after the shooting, Songer told his girlfriend to remove vacuum-sealed bag or bags of marijuana from the home. Now, this is starting to paint a little bit of a picture. Okay? According to court documents, Songer told Muncie police that he grabbed his girlfriend's handgun and fired at the intruder until the firearm malfunctioned. Okay? Songer said the intruder can't take my Second Amendment just like nobody can take your First Amendment right. Dude, you're not arguing. You and I are not arguing against each other. Again, I'm reading it straight down as the law says. Then I'm going to give you my opinions on it. And in my mind, there's no difference between the First and the Second Amendment. It's all the same. I fight for the both across the board. This is not my opinion. I am telling you what the law in Indiana states. I have difference of opinions of what the law states. Okay, so I just want to be clear on that. This is not Kristopher Bilbrey telling you his opinion. This is me telling you what the law is. Then I'm going to tell you my thoughts on this. Okay. So Songer said the intruder identified as 28-year-old Marcus Brown Jr. And there's this great big crazy thing right now going on in the comments everywhere about whether this guy's name is Marcus Brown or Marcus Hampton. People are telling me that you're wrong. His name's not Brown. It's Hampton. I don't give a shit what his name is. Dudley Do Right, the Grinch that Stole Christmas. Guy A. I don't care. I'm just telling you what law enforcement's saying. If somebody knows his name to be different than what the police are saying, you might contact somebody and let them know. Maybe his parents know. I'm sure his parents have been notified, and they're reading this in the paper and they're seeing this. And if they're calling him something different, I don't know what's going on with his name. I don't care what his name is. Okay, Marcus Brown Hampton III. None of that matters. All right, so you guys don't have to come at me over the name because I don't care. It's just, I don't know. I would think by this point they know what his name is, but if they're getting it wrong, I'm just repeating what they are saying. So just, that's another thing that people are going crazy over, which is wild. Seems like there's bigger fish to fry than what his last name is. Okay, Marcus kicked open the front door to the residence, identified himself as police, the affidavit said. When reporting the shooting to emergency dispatchers, Songer said Brown was dead. The shooting victim suffered from multiple gunshot wounds, according to court documents. So it does sound like he was shot multiple times. Okay. I know for certain a felon can't live in a house where there are guns. Someone I know had to sell all of them. Yeah. It sucks. I mean, listen, we'll talk about my thoughts on the thing here, on the matter here in a moment. When reporting the shots to emergency dispatcher, Songer said Brown was dead. The shooting victim, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds, according to court documents, was not pronounced dead until he was taken by ambulance to IU Healthball Memorial Hospital. Now, he could have multiple gunshots in the front and a gunshot wound in the back. We don't know. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he wasn't shot by his guy on the porch. Maybe he wasn't, but it seems possible. It's plausible. It's definitely something that needs to be considered. And an autopsy will definitely know. They know the difference between entrance wounds and exit wounds, and they will know if he was shot in the back or not. Okay, that'll be simple. Okay. According to an affidavit, video recovered from a cell phone at the scene showed Songer holding and firing a handgun inside the residence. Police said damage to the front door was consistent with Songer's report that the door had been forced open. Well, there's also a surveillance video. According to court records, Songer has been convicted of crimes including intimidation, domestic battery, residential entry, theft, and driving while intoxicated. He also faces 6 charges of including burglary, domestic battery with a deadly weapon, battery resulting in moderate bodily injury, and intimidation, in 2 cases pending in Delaware County Circuit Court 1. Songer was apparently released from the Delaware County Jail after posting a $10,000 bond. The obstruction of justice allegation refers to court documents apparently stems from handling a box containing vacuum-sealed packages of marijuana. According to the affidavit, Songer asked his girlfriend to remove the box from the East 29th Street home in the wake of the shooting. The box was later recovered from another South Side address, the court documents said. Okay. First, before we get into my thoughts on the Second Amendment and my thoughts varying different from the law, okay? It's important that people understand reality, all right? It's important that people have an understanding of reality. So there have been people commenting on my wall, all right, today, that there's no way the fleeing man could have shot Marcus, because Marcus was shot 9 to 50 times by Songer, which we know is not true. You know, he was shot so many times by Songer that he just dropped instantly. And so when fleeing man, within just seconds of the entry, shot, there's no way he would have been shooting at Marcus's back, because Marcus would already have been dead. And I'm like, tell me that you don't know how guns and shootings work without telling me that you don't know how guns and shootings work. This chick has obviously watched way too many movies. When I shoot you with a gun, you don't fly backwards and are dead instantly. Okay? There are instances of people who have been shot 10, 12 times and they keep walking forward. People who've been shot 10, 12, 15 times and they don't die because the gunshots don't hit any vital organs. They hurt the person and they can slow the person down, but it doesn't mean they die. You don't just die. Okay? Now, there are places on a body that you can hit that can pretty much be the on-off switch, you know. But to be in an adrenaline-filled action like that, and for that to occur, and for someone to be able to place, 5 bullets straight to your brainstem, that is probably not going to happen. Okay? We can argue about the shots that Danny Songer fired, whether they be 5 or they be 6 or they be 8 or 9, whatever the case is. We can agree to disagree on how many shots were there, but let's just say, let me take your argument, or the people's argument that I've heard out there. Let's say Songer fired 9 shots. I don't think he did, but let's just say he did. 3 or 4 of those shots, like I said, could have hit the fishbowl, the TV, the ceiling fan, the floor, and not even ever hit the target. Or he could have hit Marcus all 9 times in the foot, the leg, the arm, the shoulder, the stomach. None of which would kill him. Okay. The autopsy will let us know what he died from, where he was shot, and everything that went down. Okay. It's not a crazy idea to think that his partner that shot blindly behind him could have shot and hit him directly in the spinal column, could have hit him, the bullet could have hit, a rib and bounced up through his aorta. We also don't know what rounds these people were firing. Were they shooting 9mm? Were they shooting 40 caliber? Were they shooting 22s? Were they shooting 380s? What were these people firing? Okay, that makes a difference. Were they shooting hollow points, or were they shooting plinking ammo? Full metal jackets? What were these people shooting? This all makes a difference. Okay, this all makes a difference. So the autopsy will tell us this, and we'll know, and it'll be that. I want to be clear. It doesn't matter if fleeing man shot Marcus and killed him or not. Let's do this. Let's say that fleeing man never even had a gun. Let's say he was carrying the Bible up on the porch. The fact that fleeing man was engaged in a felony along with Marcus, the fact that they were committing attempted burglary, the fact that they were involved in a conspiracy to commit this felony, along with whatever else they had planned. Let's say they had theft in mind, which is also a felony. Let's say they planned to kidnap, bound these people up and not let them leave. Let's say they had planned to beat these people, to hurt these people somehow. Those are all different felonies. And Marcus was engaged in the felony, and fleeing man was engaged in the felony. Okay? That means because they were committed to this felony, they were committing this felony, and someone died. It doesn't matter who dies. It could have been the homeowner that died. It could have been a bypasser that saw this and had a heart attack and died. Or it could have been Marcus that died, and in this case it was. Because someone died as a result of this felony, fleeing man here will be charged, in my opinion, with felony murder. And the reason I say that, and this is the example I always give in this situation. Let's say Kate, Catherine, and I decide to pull an armed robbery. And we sit down and we plan it out. And we say, look, all we want's money. We don't want to hurt anybody. We just want some money. So we're going to go rob a gas station. And we want to make sure that people believe us, but we don't want anyone to get hurt. And Kate says, look, I'll drive, but I'm not going to be involved in it. I'll drive, but I'm not going to be involved. I'm like, okay. And Catherine says, I'm going to be your getaway driver, or your lookout, but I'm not going in. And I say, okay. So Kate's going to drive, Catherine's going to be the lookout, and I'm going to be the person that goes in. And I do the old Dillinger, and I carve a bar of soap to look like a handgun, and I paint it black. And I take that bar of soap in, and I show it to the cashier. And I say, hey, look, no one's going to get hurt. I just want your money. And there is a 70-year-old person that was getting milk at the gas station. And as a result of seeing this, that 70-year-old person has a heart attack and dies. I didn't even know they were in the store. The moment we run out and that person dies, myself, Catherine, who never went in, and Kate, who never went in, we are all guilty of what's called felony murder. And that's what people don't realize. They don't understand when they get involved. They're like, well, we're just going to go steal this marijuana. We're just going to do this. Shit goes sideways. And when let's say, for the sake of argument, I go in with that handgun to commit this bar of soap, and the old person dies of a heart attack, and the cashier pulls a gun out and shoots and kills me. The cashier is not going to be arrested, but Kate and Catherine, who never went in, they're still going to be charged with felony murder ×2. They're going to be charged for me, and they're going to be charged for the old person that died. So it's just a fun kind of mind thought to think that this guy maybe could have shot his partner in the back. But let's say that this shot never went anywhere. It went right into the ground. Nobody got hurt. And his second shot went into the roof and no one got hurt. Doesn't matter. Fleeing man is on the hook for Marcus's death because of felony murder. So if anyone says, is he dangerous? Yeah, I would say so. I would say absolutely so. And I hope the police are doing something to catch this person as soon as possible. And also, just before we move on to the Muncie City Council, it sucks that these people did this. I don't know why they did this. I don't know. Maybe they're all bad guys. Maybe some of them are good guys. I see a lot of people saying like, "Oh, I cannot believe this. Marcus was such a good guy." Whatever. Like, I don't know anything about Marcus's life. I know that in this moment, he went up with a handgun and a second guy with a handgun, and he booted the door 3 times, saying "police," and he walked in. Nothing about this is good guy. Nothing about this is decent. And I'm going to tell you, he got what he got. He got what he deserved in this moment. And it sucks. It sucks that he made those choices. And you can hate it for the family, and you can feel sorry for his family, because I'm sure he's got a mother, probably has kids, maybe has a spouse or a significant other, had brothers, sisters, friends. I'm sure they're all hurting. But people need to be realistic. People need to really think about this and realize what in the hell would have happened if Danny Songer or his girlfriend wouldn't have had a gun. If they wouldn't have had a gun, what would have happened? Okay? What in the hell would have happened if that was the case? That's really scary. That's really scary to think about that. If that was the case, maybe we would have been talking about a situation where there was a triple murder, a man, woman, and a child, or God knows what the situation could have been. I mean, this could have been really, really, really bad. And so before we move on, I just want to say I applaud Danny for what he did. I don't think that he should be charged. I think that people who've committed felonies, I think they still need a way to defend themselves. This is going to be a weird rodeo. I don't know. Maybe the Second Amendment says shall not be infringed. And, I don't know. I don't know how you get around that, I don't know. I don't see anything in Danny Songer's criminal history in my opinion, that should necessarily maybe have prevented him from having a gun at the home to protect his home. You know, yeah. If he wouldn't have been doing what he was doing, that's about Marcus. Yes, absolutely. But if Songer wouldn't have picked, we can't say that they would have killed Songer and that girl and the kid. But I'm not going to take that chance. I wouldn't take that chance. I would much rather protect myself and my loved ones and deal with the consequences than do the opposite and be shot. I want to show you guys something before we roll out of here. We're not leaving. I'm going on to another topic, but give me a second here. I see. That's not it. Right here. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Watch this.
Una pistola, mijo. Tienen una pistola, amigo. Is it a secret door in there? It's a secret door.
So we've got fake UPS people up at the door at this house. The son goes out and they get him. They tell him to give me your hands. They've got a gun. You can see they got a gun here.
This ain't all man. You finna play with it, so I see I got
both of them have a gun. They wave a third guy up.
That's all we have.
Okay.
That's all we have. Oh my God, that's all we have. Oh my God, no. Oh my God, no. That's all we have.
The police forever to get there.
Okay. So here they're in the house now, and they're demanding that the people inside give them the money. Okay.
No, but it seemed like he already knew.
You can see all this is going on. They go back out here. Now look at this.
No.
Hurry up.
No. Just hold it. Then y'all
You see one of them pushes the kid
kids
down.
up in there. Bird
Okay.
dressed like the construction workers. Could have told Mario to
Now,
lead
right
y'all to
here-
the show y'all where the money was at.
Right here, they're taking the man over here, and they're going to shoot the man in the head. Okay, and now this is this. This happened in okay, yeah, right here. So she's going in here, and at this point on the other video, They are saying she's looking for her kids. Guy comes in right here and shoots her in the head, just kills her. Right there, she's dead. The baby goes in running in there to the mom. Dad's dead over here, and they're getting ready to shoot the brother here. So they go in and they shoot. There's 3 adults in the house, mom, dad, and the 21-year-old brother, and they shoot all 3 of them, leaving the kids here. Just absolutely. There they just shot the brother, or they hit him, and they're going to take him over here, and now they shoot him.
Now, my whole thing is,
and they do all that. They go outside and they screw with the camera, trying to switch the camera. The kid goes in here where his mom's dead on the floor, and one brother comes over here and drags him away. Like, God, how did he know to do that? Look at him. That's
sad, bro.
Just absolutely amazing. So, I mean, I'm just saying, man, I don't know what these people were going to do. We can't say that they were going to kill the people inside, but I don't know. No, they weren't Muslims. The mom and dad and the 21-year-old were like Hispanic, maybe from Guatemala or something like that. And the 3 guys inside were black. So, yeah, crazy. I don't know. We'll have to see what goes on with this, but Danny Sunger bonded out. He needs to get a good attorney. I think it would be a good idea maybe if he could give Guy Relford a call. I sent everything to Guy and said, hey, you might want to look at this. I don't know if anyone's brought this up to your attention, but it's definitely going to be a crazy situation. As soon as I get the probable cause sheet, it'll probably be tomorrow, I will publish the probable cause sheet for Danny Songer's arrest. Everybody keeps saying, well, who else is going to be charged? What do you mean, who else is going to be charged? Once they catch the fleeing man will be charged. But like, everybody's acting like they're going to charge Marcus. Marcus is dead. They're not going to charge him. There's no probable cause sheet for Marcus. He's his report is being checked out by a different kind of court, and he'll be judged accordingly, I guess. I don't know. So we'll see what happens with that. Moving on to the city of Muncie, the city council. Last night we talked a little bit about the Ordinance 3, the third ordinance of 2026, Ordinance 3-26, which is the exact same ordinance that Ordinance 40-25 was. It's the ordinance asking the council to pass the rules change, making it basically the only thing this does is it creates a rule that states that in order to submit the ordinance to the clerk's office for inclusion on the agenda during a meeting, you have to be one of the 9 council members, one of the city attorneys, or one of the city council attorneys. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? I can't believe anybody could vote against this. So early this morning, I sent an email out to all 9 council members. I said, greetings, season's greetings, Muncie City Council. I hope this email finds you well. I hope you've all had a wonderful Christmas, and I wish you the very best New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I'm sending this email to ask that you all strongly consider voting for Ordinance 3-26. And I will go even further. Since this is an ordinance that should pass 9-0, just as Ordinance 40-25 should have passed in November of 2025, I would really like you to consider voting to introduce 3-26 on Monday, January 5th, 2025, but then suspending the rules and voting to pass the ordinance in the same meeting. You all have the potential to right a serious wrong that several members of the council were responsible for from back during the November 25th, 2025 council meeting. Green, Garrett, Dishman, Selvey, and Basham, you 5 counselors, the 3 Republicans and 2 fake Republicans, need to dig deep inside yourselves and do the right thing here. There is no excuse for anything other than a 9-0 passing vote. If you have any questions or would like to speak to me, you may contact me at the following cell number. If any of the 4 Democrats need to speak to me, you may call me at the same number as well. For all 9 of you, I would like a response email simply stating, yes, you've received this email, so I know it went through and you received it. Let's go into this new year with a renewed sense of public service. It would be nice if you all pledged to be transparent, to be willing to communicate to the citizens of Muncie, and be accountable for your actions. Remember, you're where you are where you are to serve the public, not to serve yourselves or the mayor or any other bullshit like that. Here's to 2026. Thank you in advance. And so I sent this earlier this morning. Let's see how many of them responded back to me so far. Let's see. District 6 responded back to me with just the word yes. Like, they can't even be bothered to go through any extra trouble. Harold Mason's just like, yes. Okay. Well, at least you did what I asked. That's amazing. Nora responded to me, yes, I received the email. Okay, good. I can appreciate that. Thank you, Nora. I mean, Nora put it forward, so I'm sure she, it is what it is. But I did not receive an email from Green, from Garrett, from Gullion, from Dishman, from Rowe, from Basham, or from McIntosh. Now, that being said, Rose Selvey posted earlier on her social media, she posted this update that she wanted the people of Muncie to know. She says, I want to share a brief update on several items that the constituents have been asking about, including the future of the Muncie Mall and recent labor negotiations. Muncie Mall redevelopment. Demolition on the former Muncie Mall anchor buildings, including JCPenney, Sears, and the attached theater, is scheduled to begin this week. Interior demolition and asbestos remediation have already been completed. The start date was briefly delayed at the request of the retailers so they could remain open through the holiday season. As redevelopment moves forward, many retailers have expressed a preference for exterior entrances that open directly to parking lots rather than interior mall access. Some existing businesses are working with mall owners to redesign their storefronts accordingly, while others have chosen to relocate to different sites within Muncie, which keeps those businesses and jobs in our community. Like many malls across the country, the Muncie Mall is transitioning away from the traditional enclosed mall model. The long-term vision is expected to resemble a more open-air shopping center. Mall ownership has also shared that they are encouraged by the discussions with potential new tenants. While the city of Muncie is not directly involved in negotiations between the mall owners and retailers, the administration is staying in regular communication and will share confirmed updates as the plan moves forward. This redevelopment will take time, and details may continue to evolve. I think that's weird that she talks about the administration because she's not part of the administration. I wish she would talk about this more from a council perspective, but I don't think she can because I think that she's getting these talking points from the mayor. So it is what it is. Labor agreements update. Why is Roe doing the communication? Well, so listen, I don't fault her for this. I don't fault Roe for this. I think all of the council members should be doing things like this. What I wish it was I wish it would actually be something more from them than talking points from the administration, because again, the council does not represent the administration. The council represents the people. So I wish that they would talk from their hearts rather than from talking points handed out by Ridenhour. But when you have 3 Republicans and 2 fake Republicans doing the bidding of the administration, that's what you get. Moving on, labor agreements update. Agreements have been reached with both the fire department and the police department. Go figure. 2 council members present for both negotiations. Negotiations with AFSCME are still ongoing and no agreement has been reached yet. Updates will be shared as discussed as discussions continue. 1 council member present. As always, and I wonder why there's only been 1 council member present. We're going to have to find out who that is. I'm almost willing to bet it's one of the Democrats and that the Republican person didn't go, and I want to find out why that is. I get what you're saying, Stumblefoot. As always, appreciate your questions and engagement. Please do not hesitate to reach out if you have concerns or would like more information. Now, I've never had a problem getting a hold of Ro, although I've tried to call her a couple of times in the last week before the holidays, and then I tried calling her twice today with no answer, so that's kind of strange. But it is the holidays, so I'll let that be. I did, however, write a comment down below, and it goes as follows. Ro, will you be voting on Ordinance 3-26 on January 5th, 2026? You and the other 2 Republicans on the council, Tweedledee, Green, and Tweedledum, Basham, along with the 2 fake Republicans on the council, Flip, Garrett, and Flop, Dishman, all voted against a similar ordinance, 40-25, in November of 2025. But it's back on the agenda for January's meeting. So my question is, are you going to vote for it this time? I then shared the ordinance with her, and she commented the following comment, and I want you guys to listen to this. Kristopher, of course it is. I don't know what that means. Of course it is. I guess, of course, it's back on the agenda. I appreciate the intent to ensure clarity and consistency in the council's legislative process. Thoughtful procedures can help prevent confusion and promote good governance. That said, I do question whether this ordinance is necessary. Council members already carry the responsibility to read, understand, and verify any ordinance or resolution they choose to sponsor or authorize. That duty is inherent to the position that we were elected to hold. My concern is not with accountability, but with whether additional procedural requirements meaningfully improve the process or simply formalize responsibilities that already exist. It is important that we strike a balance between organization and maintaining an open, efficient legislative process that allows council members to fully carry out their role. Just my thoughts. That said, I have not made my mind yet, and I'm still pondering it. I want to let you know. I want to let you guys know something. Rose Selvey wrote the following parts of this. She wrote, Kristopher Bilbrey, of course it is. And she also wrote, just my thoughts. That said, I've not made up my mind yet, and I'm still pondering it. Everything from I appreciate the intent to ensure to fully carry out their role, everything in between those are not her words. Someone else wrote that. Maybe ChatGPT, maybe one of her fellow counselors, maybe somebody from the administration. That's not Rose Selvey. I've talked to Ro forever, and it's ridiculous. Let me counter her point here. Common sense tells you they're required to hold my duty. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know about theirs, but maybe hold each other's. Anyways, common sense tells you that you're going to be nice to one another and, that you're going to try to be polite and respectful. However, they just passed a resolution 9-0 to ensure that. So what's the difference? If she's willing to pass a resolution and the rest of them are willing to pass a resolution that says we'll be nice to each other, wouldn't that have been considered let me see. Wouldn't that have been considered simply formalizing responsibilities that already exist? It seems like it would. So again, I want to be clear. There is no reason to not vote for this. There is no valid reason. I responded back to Roe and I said, anyone voting on this a second time, anyone voting no on this a second time would be ignorant. And I just want to be very clear that that's absolutely the case. Now, somebody called, let's see who this is. Somebody called Rockford Stitties. Show me those stitties. Rockford Stitties. Well, I don't know who this guy is. Investment manager at Rockford Group Investment. I've never in Noblesville. Never seen this guy ever. Don't know where he came from. He's from. Of course, he's friends with Kelly Hewer and Bruce Munson. Oh, I like Bruce Munson. He's friends with Kelly Hewer and a bunch of other idiots. Whatever. He liked her comment. And did he write the comment? That's a really weird comment to reach in and like. Specifically because you're not from here. Just very strange. This is a very weird deal. And Ro and I are going to battle this out. Because I don't, that is not a, that's a bullshit answer that she gave. That's nonsensical. There's literally no reason to not vote for this. This is like saying, I'm just floored. I guess I'm stumped here. There's no reason. I'm having a hard time speaking because I'm having a stroke. There's no reason to not vote for this. This is the procedure that they do now. The only thing different is it allows, the only thing that this stops is Ridenhour's administration from being able to turn in ordinances and resolutions on behalf of Basham or Basham or Basham or Basham. Or sometimes I guess maybe Roe. I don't know if Green does that very often. He doesn't sign a whole lot of ordinances. It's mostly Basham. That's what this stops. Not having this allows the administration to do that thing. And that's what we have to stop. The reason is because it acknowledges and draws attention to Dan and Shireen's messing up. Yeah, that's the reason they don't want it. They don't want this because it does. That's exactly right. They don't want this because it acknowledges the screw up. But I almost feel like since nothing is going to happen of that because we have a really piss poor pansy council that's not going to do anything, it's like, okay, vote on this and move on and it'll be done. But let me tell you this, I haven't even been the one bringing this up. There have been random citizens coming in and talking about this at every chance they've had since the council voted this down. So, in my opinion, all they're going to get is more heat if they don't vote this through. There is literally no reason for this ordinance to not pass 9-0. That's exactly right. There's obviously no reason to vote any of these idiots back into the council after their term expires. And the good thing is they all expire at once, so we can have an all brand new council. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Yeah, right. That's exactly right, Brian. That's exactly right. So, we've got people running around shooting blindly, which is just ignorant. And then we've also got council members that they don't understand their duty and responsibility. And they feel like doing simple tasks like this just might be too much. Ooh, it might formalize our responsibilities. Oh no, not that. You would hate to formalize your responsibility, Whatever. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. You have a wonderful rest of your evening. We will be here tomorrow at 9 p.m. I will try to be on time. Hopefully we have no major crazy injuries or sicknesses or whatever between now and then. You guys have a wonderful rest of your evening and have a great Tuesday. We will see you back here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Take care. God bless. And